Ep.1 here with spotter jutting. We're going to start a new kind of a vlog, series, whatever you want to call it, here on the channel. It's going to be called Life as a Young EC, and I'm going to give you a little insight to what goes on in my day-to-day. What you've been seeing lately has been a lot of parks on the air, stuff like that, which is great. It's just I don't have a lot of time. Being an EC brings up a lot of that, takes up a lot of that. Working full-time takes up a lot of that. So we're going to go in this new direction. And part of that is I'm going to take you kind of through my day-to-day. Wake up every morning. We're going to talk about this. If you have any questions, please do. Questions, suggestions, drop them in the comments. If you're an EC and you see that I could be doing something better, or you have suggestions, or you want to ask what I'm doing with a certain particular thing, please drop in the comments below. I'm more than likely going to ask you, I'll answer you really quick. I think the longest anyone has waited for a reply has been maybe an hour or two. I get a notification as soon as someone drops a comment, and I can get right to it. But please, this is about creating discussion and kind of what's going on with, me being a new EC. Now, for those of you that don't know what an EC is, it's an emergency coordinator. I am the American Radio Relay League emergency coordinator for Jasper County, Iowa. I took on this role not even being a ham for 1 year. I have a background in private security, a education background with law enforcement. I've got time in dispatch centers, both law enforcement as intern or observer, and professionally in as a security officer or security dispatcher. So that's my background. And when our past EC, who didn't get very far away, he didn't drop out of the picture. He's my lead net controller. He's probably my #1 advisor. If I want to throw anything out, I look to his opinion before I go too far down crazy rabbit hole. If he goes, it's a good idea, then I go too far crazy down the rabbit hole. If he says it's a bad idea, then I debate if I still want to go forward with it. So that being said, my mornings start out normally 4:30 in the morning. That's where my alarm's set. I'm on the road at 5:30, but between 4:30 and 5:30, I'm doing two things. One, I am getting kiddo ready to go to daycare and meet up with mama. The #2 thing I am doing is I am preparing myself mentally and physically for anything that could go on as far as the emergency coordinator side. I wake up in the morning and I check the NOAA Storm Prediction Center every morning, and I've got the laptop right here. So NOAA Storm Prediction Center, I check that every morning, each and every morning. Sunday through Sunday. I mean, I check it this morning. I woke up. I didn't get up at 4:30 this morning. The missus let me sleep in. So I woke up about 5:30, 6 o'clock. First thing I did is I'm checking the NOAA Storm Prediction Center. Next thing I'm doing is I am checking my emails for the radio. I have a radio email, which you all have access to if you get on QRZ, look up K0BJJ. That's that email. I'm checking emails for both the radio stuff and the spotter jutting email. So if you message me on here, I get a notification in my email, and that's a different email from my radio. I try to do that to kind of keep professional. Radio stuff keeps segregated from the other stuff. So I don't really want to say it's a professional, personal. They're both personal and both kind of professional. Next thing I'm doing is I'm either replying to emails or I'm sending emails. So if there is a threat of severe weather for central Iowa, specifically Jasper, Polk, Poweshiek, Marshall, Marion, Warren counties. So everything on Story. I don't want to forget Story because Story does touch us, directly affecting around us. At that point, I'm going to look at the categorical event. So is this going to be a hail threat? Is this going to be a tornado threat? Is it a large wind threat? Given information, if it is a 5% hail threat, I'm probably not going to say much. I'm probably not going to send an email to the team. 2% tornado threat. And I just got a notification. I thought I shut those off. Sorry. 2% tornado threat or greater. I am sending an email out to the Aries team notifying them, hey, we have a 2% tornado threat on this day. Or if we have multiple days of strung out severe weather. So this week, I'm recording this Memorial Day weekend. This last week, we had 2 to 3 days strung out with possible severe weather. I sent an email out saying, hey, we have multiple rounds of severe weather. We are going to be ready for, we're ready for this. I email my net control operators. There's 3 of us that have access to our net control station at 911 dispatch in Jasper County. I am one of them, and I have my 2 other management team, the one I mentioned earlier, and then I have my AEC, or Assistant Emergency Coordinator. We all have access to that 911 dispatch center. I email those 2 and ask, what's your availability to take over as net control? As far as net control goes, I want to run 2 net control operators. So of the 3 of us, 2 of us in there, if we have 3 or more spotters active. Now, if we have 3 spotters active and it's a widespread storm, and I only have me and one other person available, I'm honestly gonna probably say sorry to them, and I'm going to the field. I prefer to lead from the front, so odds are I'm in the field before the rest of the team is anyway. But if worse comes to worse, if we have a 8-person team. If I've got 6 people that are out in the field, I'm going to be with a net control. I'm going to be in net control at 911 dispatch. So it's kind of one of those, you try to keep it as close to a 1-to-1, the 2-to-1 ratio with that net control. It's a lot easier communicating with 2 people, especially with the way we have to communicate currently with 911. Our net controller, if I have 1 person in net control and I report to net control, I have a tornado on the ground, he's got to take down that information. He has to physically step away from the radio if he's the only one in there, and then hand that message that he just wrote to 911 dispatch. If we have 2 people, then he hands that to the runner. The runner then now hands that to 911 dispatch. He never gets away from the radio. So that's why we want to have a 2-person system in there as much as possible. If I only have 2 spotters, though, I can't justify having 2 people in that control, even though we still have the same problem. We kind of got to justify it. If there's a lot of spotters out there, we don't want anyone getting away from the radio. If we don't have a lot of spotters, it's one of those things where the spotter's got to understand if there's an emergency message and you don't hear net control for a few minutes, it's because he's away from the radio having to deliver that message. So and let's say there is a severe threat that day. I go to work. I am packed my bag. I've got my go bag. I think I've shown it on the channel before with my laptop. Actually, the laptop I just showed you. That's got my radar on it. I've got that packed. I've got the charger packed. I've got an inverter in the truck. I've got my HT, my handheld in there. I am ready to go. The moment I get off work, I literally can rip my uniform off. I have another vest that does not say security because I'm a security officer professionally. That does not say security in the vehicle. I can put that other vest on. I am good to go storm spotting from work. And actually this week I tested how quick I could get up and going. I was up and going within 5 minutes of getting off the clock. I had my uniform top stripped off. As soon as I got in the vehicle, I set everything up. I was good to go in the parking lot within 5 minutes. Monitoring traffic. We didn't actually deploy the team. But there was funnel clouds spotted in Jasper County. I'm in Polk County where I work, and I saw something that looked suspicious to me off to the north. I'm going to go investigate. I'm going to go check it out, see if I need to deploy the team. We didn't deploy the team. Nothing ever came of it. But I can get going at work in 5 minutes, which is good to know. While I'm at work, I have my phone on me. And I am constantly checking either the Storm Prediction Center or radar, depending on what time it is. I do have other resources like the Iowa Storm Chasing Network. I get updates from them. I love communicating with Iowa Storm Chasing Network. They're a very good bunch of people. If you live in Iowa, please check them out. Get their app. They are a good third-party weather resource, and I trust them with my life. I trust them in the field more than I trust my local news networks. And I'll probably link them below. But that's kind of my day-to-day. I'm watching constantly. If there's a threat, not like today, there's not a threat of severe weather. I'm not constantly on the phone. I'm not constantly checking radar. I am trying to relax, enjoy the weekend, holiday weekend, and chill out. But today, if there was a chance of severe weather, I'm getting an approximate timeline of when the threat is. I may send that out in my email. If they already say it's going to be a mid-afternoon severe event, I'll put that in my email out to the team at 5 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, whenever that email goes out saying they're expecting the threat around this time. I give my team as much as a head up via email as possible with possible threats. Now, I'm not going to typically send them more than one email a week unless the threat increases. If they don't hear from me, it either A, we were going, or B, it's done. I don't do a cancellation. I put an alert status out, and that's about it. So, but if, let's say, we have a 2% chance today, and when I check at noon and it goes to a 10% chance of a tornado, I'm going to email them out. I'm going to say, hey, the new Storm Prediction Center forecast just came out. We were elevated from a 2% chance of a tornado to a 10% chance. We're got to be on it. Something's probably going to happen. We're going to get some kind of severe weather. I don't do it if it's the other way around. I don't know if I should. I mean, if you have experience with that in the past, on your end, what would do you think I should do that, or do you think the one email is enough just to get everyone on alert, and if nothing happens, nothing happens? Now, if we were to activate, we all have a group text. We drill with the group text. If we were to activate, a text message goes out to the entire team saying, we are activating time effective. So let's say today, and it's an immediate threat. We are activating now. We're going to be on this repeater, which we all have our frequencies. That's one thing I do. We drill. We've done failover drill. We know what frequencies we operate on. So we're going to activate on this frequency, and this is our net controller. I'm communicating with my two other leads, my two other administration, my AEC and my lead net control operator. And we've already determined who is going to 911 and who is going to be on the radio at the time of the activation. And that goes in the text message to the entire team. So we're activating now. We're going to be on this frequency. Net control is this person. So that way when you hear K0BJJ monitoring or is activating AresNet or the call out, you know that K0BJJ from the text message is your net controller. So if you get in there late, you can call, hey, K0BJJ, this is WX0YZ. Made that call sign completely up. Don't know if it's real. I'm not going to look it up. You're calling your net control directly. So we haven't had to go to that point yet. The furthest we have gone yet this year, because it's been a really relaxed severe weather season, as you could probably tell on the videos by this time. We haven't had any storm chases. We've had a soaker spot, and that was me getting antsy, and it looked promising. But we were communicating via text message. We were debating if we were going to deploy the team, and never on that day, nothing came of it, so we didn't. But yeah, that's my average day. I've been communicating with Warren County and Sterling County emergency coordinators, trying to get different things worked up. I also communicate with some people in Polk County when it comes to the Skywarn and emergency stuff. But yeah, that's kind of my day-to-day. I do have other things we're going to cover. I might do some really truly vlog stuff where you see the family too. But I think this is a good way to start this out. So yeah, this is going to be our new little mini series or series. Depends how long it goes. Depends. I mean, it's all circumstantial. This is a good way to get you guys comment. This is a good way to interact. I want you guys to comment. I want you guys to interact. I want to know what your thoughts, feedback are. Equipment used, we can go through that at some time. I can take you through our exact protocols. I kind of took you through the activation part of it today, but I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say, and we'll see what we're going to end up doing with the next video. So thanks for watching Spider Jetting. Again, I'm Ben, call sign K0BJJ, and we'll see you on the next chase.